Good evening, Minor Nation, and welcome to a 5-0 episode of Through the Wire with Coach Reznor. I'm your host, Jim Meunier. Alongside me is my two partners of crime, Jeff, and also the head coach himself, Coach Reznor. Gents, welcome to another edition. Victory Wednesday, as we say in the sport. How's things going up there?
It's great. It's going good so far. So far,
You know
so good.
you know how many wins that is?
Yeah, you got it right this time.
5 of them things.
I got 2 of them in one game because I got it wrong last week.
Oh, well, there you go.
Well, this past weekend we beat the Avengers, so that means we were the Thanos this week. Evaporate the Avengers.
Yeah.
57-18. Big performance by Grant Russell. He was the offensive player of the game with 206 yards passing, 11 completions, 6 total touchdowns with 16 attempts. And Deontay Mason was the defensive player of the game with 6 tackles and an interception. Coach, looking back at this past week, what were the bright spots? What are the things that you think we can fix, or are we still pushing for that undefeated season and no one's going to beat us in this league type of mentality?
So that was a lot of questions.
A lot at once, yeah, absolutely.
So I would say overall that we played pretty good. I thought we were a little sluggish in the first half. I think so. To my standards, to where we're at right now.
Looked pretty good to me.
Yeah, but as a coach, we're always going to fix things
Sure.
and look at things, and
only you can know if we screw up or not because you're the one calling the plays. So,
I think defensively we did okay in the first half. I think we stayed on the field a little too long sometimes, gave up some long down stuff that kept us from getting the ball because we pretty much scored almost every drive. I think there's a few that we missed, but overall, it was we'll get better overall. I mean, you can't. It's hard to get mad at the guys when we do so well and with what we did, But there's always room for improvement through the rest of the season. I'm looking forward to every game, every week. We look at it as the same, but I'm predicting we're going to be undefeated there at the end when we're playing in the championship game. So. You got to be pretty tough to come beat us. We got one more road game this week in Jersey, and then we're at home the rest of the week or the rest of the season. And we're building a pretty good, strong fan base. Our attendance is going to keep getting better each week. We got killed this past week because Mother's Day. That was expected. With us having to move. We really didn't want to move, but we had to. We had to make that choice so we could try to push for it. But it is what it is. Sundays are already tough as it is, and then it was Mother's Day, so you add that to the mix. But we got a good support. I mean, it's the community is coming behind us. They've had a lot of stuff here come and go, so it's really for us to just prove to everyone, that we're here. We're not going anywhere. So, that's what I'm looking forward to do. That's the challenge to me, is to show everyone what we're going to do, and we're going to be here for years to come.
Well, again, hats off to the production team. Great broadcasts, great breakdowns. Jeff got kind of confused with certain rules. I was screaming at him in the YouTube stream, but hey, it's okay, Jeff. I won't bash you too much, but
okay.
Again,
well, he gave crazy looks. So what? Let's figure out what it was. Like, which ones you talking about?
He got the Mac and the Jack confused.
Oh, I was calling it, and I called it Jack out of the box. I was using old AFL references. Sorry, they're still using them too. So
And I was like, "Oh, come on! You're supposed to be the Tony
Yeah,
and the Chris Collinsworth. You're supposed to know everything, man." But
yeah,
it's okay, Jeff, because the referees have a hard time sometimes too. I got to stay on
True
them.
enough.
It's bad enough when the other coaches don't really know all the rules and you're trying to coach them up on the fly. But I'm pretty hated as a coach when we get rolling with things, but I look forward to it. I like the challenge too. We got to have fun too, because most games has been boring for me calling plays when we're dropping bombs on people left and right.
Listen, I mentioned it on the broadcast too. My favorite rivalry is you and the referees. Like it's fantastic. It's great. And hats off to JB and his crew for getting it on film most of the time. Like, it's great. And then our photographers are getting it in pictures. So I mean, it's awesome. It's a great rivalry. I love it.
It still doesn't match the classic showdown a couple years ago up in Albany between Reds and Coach Manas. That was a good
No,
one.
absolutely. Yeah.
We beat the Avengers.
So I'm missing those matchups. I'm looking forward to what we have coming up. I'm looking forward for the city to be involved with that because let's we can be. I always talk about facts when we're on these, right? When we're going forward and we're being honest with things. The Rough Riders were in about the same league we're in now. I mean, there are a couple of teams that were a little bit better, of course. It wasn't the same as when I was in the AAL back in 2018 when we beat the Rough Riders in the championship game. 2019 was a little sluggish for them. They were undefeated, right? So I think it's more exciting for the city to experience the IFL or NAL, those type leagues. That's what we're trying to build for, and the fans want us to be here and last for a long time. But for that to happen, they got to come to the games. We need the attendance. We need the support. It's this isn't free to play these games. So we have an operating budget, and ticket sales are a part of that, and that's how teams last and do certain things. So you want us to stay here for a long time, then we need to be supported. So everyone needs to help spread that word.
Well, speaking, we do have some ticket deals coming forward for the next home game, June 1st. Buy one, get one
So
free. First
yeah,
responders and military appreciation. So,
absolutely. This is always a big game for me because I'm a Marine, two combat tours in Iraq. I love the military. That's what I live my life for. I'm excited to be a Marine. I'm proud to be a Marine. So the military game for me is always special. Um, so for the special we have, we're partnering with the West Virginia National Guard, which was pretty awesome for us. And it's a great, they're providing our jerseys for the game on June 1st. So that's pretty cool. But for military and first responder night, we're doing a buy one, get one for all active and retired military and first responders. And as you can see a little bit there is all coal miners are 50% off as well for the rest of the season. And the same with of any of their family members 13 and under. So we feel, we're miners. So, it's cool for the actual coal miners to have a team to get behind. And that's, pretty cool to be a part of.
good deals, good family fun. That's what arena football is about affordable family fun. You look at any franchise that's been around the block longer than a couple games, Jacksonville, Arizona, Iowa, Omaha, to name a few. You look at the crowds, there's always 6,000 fans in there. It's because it's affordable. You get people, well, how an owner down here in Jacksonville says, you find a way to get butts in seats, no matter
Right.
what it is. Any type of discounts, any money coming in is money for the franchise and for survival.
Mhm.
Also, there was a couple of interesting things that happened this weekend. My Sharks still stink in the IFL. San Antonio
Poor
is
Gibson. Poor Gibson. Poor
um,
Gibson.
Coach Manas is finding his way in San Antonio. They are right in the mix.
Mm-hmm.
Vegas, I think, is the team to beat in all of indoor football. They're undefeated. Billy back in Tucson is in the same situation as Gibby right now. Like they're trying to find a way to get over the hump. But outside of the William, your observations for this past week of indoor arena football?
First of all, I'm surprised by a few teams. I thought your Sharks would have been a little bit better because Gibson does a good job recruiting at the end of the day. I mean, he finds guys that most guys don't find, and he finds a way to find the under the radar guys and develops them, and they're always pretty decent. Um, Tucson, Billy's been pretty dang good. When he was at Spokane and then Frisco. I would have thought they would have been a little bit better. I was going to be the DC there this upcoming season, and then decided to come to Wheeling to be the head coach here. I haven't spoke to Billy since December, so I guess we're not friends anymore. But I still thought they would have been better, and I know he's trying to find a way and figure it out. But the West is tough. The West.
Yeah.
I would hate to be in the West. So if we were to have a chance to be in the IFL, I think our chances look pretty good on the Eastern Division to compete and be right there at the end. Jacksonville's going to get better.
We're 1-6, and we're only 2 games out of the 4 seed.
I know, but that shows you the difference from the East to the West, right?
Exactly. If we were in the
Um,
West, we'd be 3 and 4 games back. So
yeah,
Quad
I-
City's sneaky. They're a sneaky team.
They are. They're coached good.
Yeah.
They're coached very well. They don't have all the high um, marquee players that other teams have, right? But they find a way to put it together, and that's more dangerous than anything.
They came out of nowhere last year and ended up in the championship game. I mean, nobody gave them a chance, and then they just showed up. So
2 years
Yeah,
ago.
yeah, for
2 years
sure.
ago.
So I feel that we would compete very good on the East in the Eastern Division, even with the team that we have now. If I knew we were in the IFL, I mean, we would probably upgrade a few pieces. We got a very good player personnel guy in Jay Wilson that has helped out with and filled some spots for us this year, and we're building that relationship. We're still learning each other, and he's still learning what I like in players and what I look for, and because any player personnel guy is trying to find the guys that fit what we do. And once we get in that groove of where we're at, then he'll know what he's looking for. Right now, he's just finding the best football players that he can find. So now we got to figure out, all right, does that translate to our game? Does that translate to the arena game, indoor game, from someone that's just straight from outside? That's the key. That's the trick to finding guys straight out of college. Like, does their abilities and playing style fit this game? Because it doesn't fit for everybody. I would take a full roster of arena football vets versus all NFL guys, and we would win just because we know the game. Now, the NFL guys are very athletic, very great athletes. Don't get me wrong, but it ain't easy to cover a guy in motion running at you full speed and then put a couple moves on you, and then you're in trouble. So everything happens much faster. So if you can't adapt to that, then you're not going to make it.
Well, we did see former NFL players thinking they can translate into the arena game last a couple of games, and that was it. Terrell Owens is noticeable one from a few years ago. Um, CTE himself, Antonio Brown tried it last year and lasted the quarter or one play, and he was done. So I see where, and also you got to look at the two sports. Like the arena football player is different from an indoor football player. Different styles of the game. That's why I think it's hurting Jacksonville is the transitioning is getting us right now. But I look at Jacksonville's roster and like we're very talented. It's just not clicking yet. And once they start
Right.
clicking, I think they'll go on a nice run here because that's Coach Gibson's teams. They're well coached. It's just you look over with San Antonio. Coach Fuller's coached in the indoor game, so he knows the rules. So the transition for him in San Antonio was easier because he already knew the rules. Jacksonville is a little different. But I look around the other landscape of this industry, and it finally finds out that the problems have been erased, and actually we got competent leadership with the old brand of the AFL, and that is now Jeff Fisher. Yes,
Yes.
former head coach of the Tennessee Titans. He has cursed me my whole life as a Jaguar fan. He's now the owner. He now owns the rights. He owns everything of the Arena Football League. It's legit now. There's no trademark violations. Question is, do they hold on and survive what they have, or is it going to be, in your opinion, a rough few weeks until the end of their season?
I mean, I hope so. I'm a Jeff Fisher fan. Like I like Jeff Fisher. Fisher is a heck of a football coach, and I'm sure he was itching to get back in football in some form or fashion. I think when he left the Rams, I think that was tough for him. I don't think he really wanted to do that. But sometimes you're put in a situation where it's time to move on, and I think he was kind of put in that situation. But if anyone can turn it around and pull his strings and his clout and his network to make it work, it's him. I told you earlier today that if the AFL can't make it with Jeff Fisher, it ain't gonna happen. It's just because Jeff Fisher's owner. I mean, they're a pretty well off team, right? They're one of the top teams that are there now, and I mean they got the funding, they got the finances to do it. Now it's just a matter, can they make it last through the rest of the season? Can that translate to the other teams? Albany's they're gonna be fine. Orlando's trying to be there, and they're gonna be there. And then there's a couple other teams that you just don't know, right? You want it to be successful. We've been hard on them, and we've brought up stuff, because it's warranted. I mean, we're just talking facts. We're not making up anything. So, we want it to be successful. I want the players to go make $1,000, $1,500 a game. I want them to do that. I want to be able to help send players there. I want to develop guys and help them have that opportunity to play at the highest level possible. We want to do that, but it also gives the whole game itself a black eye if it's not done right. And for us in a smaller venue in a smaller town, it's already tough for us to make it. So now when you see all this stuff on social media and all these arena football teams, not doing it the right way, everyone's grouped into the negative, and it's hard to fight through that already.
Well, at least I know, like, I've been one of the biggest critics of the AFL. I never even mention it by name, but I also got to remember what brought me into the sport 20 some odd years ago. It was the arena football. It was the Orlando Predators taking on the New York Dragons. Aaron Garcia versus was it Jay Gruden, quarterback
I
for the
think so.
Predators?
Yep.
I think so.
Like
Yep.
back in the old jungle, like the old Amway Arena, where it was 20,000 plus in that building. I fell in love with the sport then. And see it come back and see what happened to like Philadelphia and then Georgia. Me and you talked about this behind the scenes, coach, is that where is these teams? Where are these facilities? Like we were saying stuff about it and people said we were just haters. But now that the league is, I think they've realized what they need to do to survive. I think they could get through this season and they're going to reevaluate this season. I know Fisher's already said that our goal is to get to the off season and reevaluate. And knowing him, he'll make some contacts around the NFL or other leagues or other teams that have prestige in this industry and, pick their brains some, like Jacksonville, like Arizona, like Omaha and Quad Cities and Iowa. Right leadership with that brand helps save the industry. Bad leadership with that brand destroys the industry.
Mm-hmm.
And it almost did. It almost got destroyed because of two people that decided to just collect paychecks and run. But hopefully,
Yeah.
positive signs, and all the leagues can finish the season out with no teams
Mm-hmm.
folding. Players get paid, players get fed. We have
Yeah.
some exciting games because we got playoffs coming up, championships to be claimed, and
Mm-hmm.
when we get to the offseason, we get to the offseason.
Yeah.
Then the fun begins. That's my time of the year.
Mm-hmm.
Like hopefully I have a connection with Willie that tells me where they're going, but I may have to work on that too. But
Well, look, I've been talking with our arena staff, our operations team, and looking at the different scenarios that we could be in, right? So
mhm,
if we went to the NAL, what does it look like with the cages, the netting system? How does that fit in our venue, right? And before, I probably wouldn't have thought too much about it just because uh, a smaller venue, right?
mhm,
So if we're talking about the NAL, the AFL could be an option at some point. Why not try to be at the highest of high, right?
correct.
That's what we're all trying to do. And I wouldn't have thought about that before because of the smaller venue, all the AFL cities that have the 10, the 15,000 venues, maybe more than that. But when you look at the teams that are in the AFL now, in the CIF, that came from the CIF,
Mhm.
our venue matches all those teams. So
Actually,
it's
bigger
like,
than a lot of them.
yeah, bigger than some of them. And just overall what we're doing, if you look at our broadcast and the things that we put together and our players that are taken care of here and the different things they have that are available to them, we fit right in that mold. So when we were talking about the cages and stuff, why couldn't we? Why couldn't we be part of that if it was legitimate and it made sense? The AFL could be an option if it made sense. But we also got to do what's best for us as an organization. For what our financial capabilities are. Well, we want to stay within our means. We don't want to try to overextend ourselves if we're not in that situation. We're talking about big things here, and until we can get to 3,500 fans or more in there,
Mhm.
all that talk is just talk until we can sustain ourselves and make this thing happen. It's okay to be in a different league next year, be there for 2 years, move up again, further than that. It's all about building this process, and that's what I'm most excited about being here for, is of what we're working for and what's ahead. I joke around, say I get bored calling plays in the game because it's too easy sometimes, but it is. Our team is too good. We don't belong in this league that we're in, but we are here, and so we got a big game coming up this week. Jersey, we only won by what? 10 points last game, 11, 12, 15, whatever it is. It isn't. We're not beating teams 88-20 every game. Last week was we were supposed to be a tune-up game for Michigan, and that I think it was a tune-up game for them to realize the things they need to fix going into their championship game this coming week.
57-18 is that we like to call a tune-up game. That's
Well, it's funny. It's funny
called a
before
reevaluate type of game.
before the show, we were. I was sitting over there, and one of the waitresses came to me and said that after you guys left Saturday, their coaches and some players were in here, and she was waiting on them or whatever, and she said they were just drinking away, like they didn't. She was like, "Don't you guys got a game tomorrow?" And she was like, "Yeah, but who cares about the Willen Miners?" is what they were saying. I was like, "All right, yeah, we'll see how that works out for you tomorrow." And they were very disrespectful to our coaches, and I took offense to that in the game, and we got a little chippy with them a little bit, but I mean, don't come here talking crap like you're going to come beat us, and that's always nice to be able to have the upper hand on that when someone's trying to be negative, and you put them in their place and send them home. That's always a good feeling.
We were trying to figure out why Andre London, he had a touchdown. It was literally right in front of him. And I asked him at practice on Tuesday, I said, "Dre, why did you miss that touchdown?" He said, "The guy untied my shoe." He said his shoe was untied. They went to that lengths to stop from scoring. They untied his shoe.
Yeah.
That's like
unbelievable
child's play right there.
Yeah.
I'm like, wow, okay. He's
So-
like, if you watch it back, you can see me push my foot down to make sure my shoe was still on. Like, that's crazy.
So the way it's playing out right now, we'll probably end up being undefeated. So we'll probably end up getting a bye week. We'll see, how that goes. I don't know how they're going to work out the postseason and all that stuff, but we're looking forward to having June 1st, June 8th, our last two regular season games. June 15th weekend have a game. June 22nd weekend will be a game, and then July 6th will be the championship game. So, yeah, we got quite a few games left to play at home. I will say too, overall, being here at Generations, we got some merchandise set up over here. Julie and Wyatt and Caden are over there. We got some gear there, some cool stuff. Our merchandise has been selling like crazy at the game, so we're excited about that. We'll eventually be seeing a lot of Miner stuff all over town, so that's pretty cool. A lot of different things coming up. We got dining with a Miner coming up. I shared some of that information with you, but basically they can scan the QR code or sign up for the chance to eat dinner with a Miner, get some swag gear, signed footballs, stuff like that. Be pretty cool. So dining with a Miner, one of the guys with our movie star guy we got, RC Everbeck.
Movie star.
He'll be excited to go out to dinner with somebody. So we'll see how that goes. But I think it'll be, pretty cool experience. We'll get some of your merchandise, and that's pretty cool setup. So.
And for that, ladies and gentlemen, the link is in the chat if you're looking for the link for that sign up. I can't post it on here, but I do have a banner that tells.
Hey, look at that.
But it does. You can't click on the link. So the link's in the chat if you're interested to doing that. Dinner with Everbeck. Yeah.
Yeah, that's pretty
Days
cool.
of Our Lives, Hallmark Channel. If I had dinner with him, it's like, dude, you shouldn't be playing football. You're retired.
But so Yvonne and Don, they're helping put that together, and so we just put that out this last game, so that was pretty cool to get them excited with that and to help build that up, and we're helping them push that as much as possible. Can we get merch online? Right now, our team store is on hold right now online. It ended up being more of a fiasco than anything. We're working out those bugs to try to get it streamlined a little bit easier. than the way we had it set up. So hopefully we can get that back active here soon. But it's I shut it down just because I wanted to make sure that it made it as easy as possible for fans to purchase online. Right now there's a lot of steps and things you got to go through, and it's just it became more of a hassle. And I want to make sure if you purchase something online, you're getting it shipped to you in a expedited time. There's been a couple orders that are still lingering out there from the beginning of April. So that's tough. We got a lot of things to work out, little bugs, little things like that. If our only problem is we hadn't shipped certain things, and we're only talking like a handful, like 4 or 5 people, but little things like that we got to fix. We're in the right track for a first year organization. I'm excited. I say it every day. We work hard. I still joke about, because it's still true, that I have yet to turn on my TV since I've been here in town. I don't have time to watch TV. We're working and we're trying to make this thing happen. I'm out there every day. I try to make sure I eat at all my partners. Generations. Some days I eat here 3 meals a day. Breakfast, lunch, and dinner. I mean, I love the food here. And I'm not just saying that because they're one of our partners. I'm saying that because I like eating here. A lot of
generations.
Yeah. So we got a lot of good food partners and a lot of good community partnerships in place, and it's only growing. We're adding more people. We're actually brought on some partners for our YouTube broadcast, which is pretty awesome with JB and them and Jeff and Chris. That's a great shout out to them for their hard work and what they put together. To be able to monetize that it's just awesome. That's just another revenue generator, because once we eventually get maxed out and tapped out, we're selling out the place. We're going to. It's coming. Whether it's this year or next year or I don't know when, but we're going to be packed. But once we're selling out, now we got to figure out other avenues of revenue to keep growing and keep making things better. And we're establishing that with our YouTube broadcast, which is tops in the country. I mean, there's teams that have been doing this for a long time and they can't figure it out. And sometimes it's you got to get the right people in place. And I feel like we got that with Jonathan and Chris and Jeff. And I know they have a great time doing it too.
Well, some teams just forget when they come back from commercial break, they still have their commercials playing while the game is playing. like you've been in the industry for 3+ years, you should know there's a button you need to click.
Well, what's cool is we actually had a couple partners reach out, community partners existing, that reached out to JB and them about how do they get to be a part of the broadcast. And so that's cool. That lets them know that. I bet that makes JB and Chris and Jeff and them feel really good about what they're doing. That, we're selling inventory for the YouTube broadcast, but when they're coming to you to see how they can be a part of it, you're on the right track. So, I'm proud to be a part of what they got going on.
Again, I'm not propping them up. They literally are top tier in this sport. You have a lot of broadcasts that are better than teams that have been here for 20+ years. Just that's because of the dedication, the on-field camera, the drone, not drone, the
overhead.
The overhead, yeah.
Skycam, yeah. Our own version of the Skycam.
Right. I just heard that out as a sponsor.
But some teams out there, they're lucky to have 3 cameras.
Right.
Some of them are lucky to just have 1.
Yeah.
And they just track the field from the 25-yard line, which is annoying because you'll get sections of fans in the way. But
he's still adding cameras. Every week we have a different camera. I'm like, where'd this camera come from, JB? He's like, oh, this one's over here, over there. Okay.
Before you know it, you're gonna have a camera that's gonna be just by the drum line constantly.
Yeah,
that's it.
Well, they put the microphone. They put a microphone
down there, yeah.
So they can get some sounds from it. I saw some stuff come across the screen earlier. My wife said, "Hey, honey, love you. Miss y'all next week. I'm looking forward to it. To the bye week. Go home for a week. It'd be pretty cool." Javon Johnson mentioned coach is a demon at quarterback.
Absolutely. I witness it all the time.
We were bombing on him today in practice. I was playing quarterback today, and Grant's the school teacher, so he doesn't come on Wednesdays, and our backup had some stuff going on at home. He lives in Pittsburgh, so he didn't come in today. So it left me there. So we made a little competition with the defense today, and put some money on the line, and we put it on them, and I felt bad. So we beat them. So I told them, don't worry, I'm not going to take your money. So,
I can just picture you with a scene from Adam Sandler, that football movie where he's like right there. It's like, I'm gonna play quarterback. He said, all right, throw it to me. And the guy throws it, and he's like,
Longest yard.
Longest yard, yeah. He's like, yeah. He's like, yeah, sit down. I can picture you as Adam Sandler coach.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
But
So the
again,
next person, I do want to say this: the next person that comes by is a T-shirt. You will get tickets to the next home game on Coach Rez. Okay, so don't be shy, don't be scared. Come buy a T-shirt.
There you go.
Sorry, I had to put that out there.
hello,
Just came over the
generations.
speakers. Yep, just come over the
Generations.
speakers.
He's talking to you. I don't
Well,
know
you
what
want to?
else.
On that note, you want to bring up our guest for tonight?
Yeah, we have the highlights for this past week's game, which will be a little extended halftime highlight. Then when we come back, we'll have the guest of the show. Let me get his banner up so we know who exactly it is, so the people know who it is. Andre Thomas Cobb had a good game. So we'll be back after this, ladies and gentlemen. Sit back, go get a break, watch the highlights. We'll be back. It's pretty extended. It's the highlights from this past week. Victory over the Avengers. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to the Through the Wire, and with here's our host or guest. Not host. I'm the host. I'm getting confused. What the heck? It's scheduled release day in the NFL. I get kind of excited when useless events happen like that.
There you go.
Alongside us in this part of the episode is Andre Thomas Cobb. Two, two receptions for 46 yards, two touchdowns. Welcome to the show, my friend. How are you doing?
I'm doing good. Yourself?
Hey, it's Wednesday, hump day.
Okay.
Almost a weekend means there's football this weekend. Gotta love it. Football all year round for me. So, a couple of questions I usually ask players. What brought you to Willing? Was it because of coach, or was it because of the area? You're from the area? Let the fans know.
I would say it was because of coach, definitely.
That's simple enough. All right, Jeff, I think Coach Rez has something about that. He brings a lot of people just because of Coach Rez.
He does. I mean, he's got an eye for talent. He knows
Yeah.
what's going on. Cobb was in Topeka last year playing, had a good season. Comes here and he's really come into his own. Has a lot of speed, a lot of speed. All the guys are really like, wow, he can run like that. Like, yeah, he runs a straight seam down the line and he's gone.
True. We having some technical difficulties there, ladies and gentlemen. We'll fix that here. A little bad reverb on your end. So, bad echo, but it's
I'm not
okay.
in anything.
So if the people are not hearing it, it's fine. Andre,
Yes, sir.
your college,
Which one?
Western Kentucky, right?
Yeah, so I've been a little bit everywhere. Western Kentucky coming out of high school. Let me see. Then we had some clearinghouse issues. Went over to Northern Arizona. From there, we went out to Coffeyville Community College. Then Emporia State and Arkansas Money Cell. I've been all over, just balling.
Mm-hmm. So you transfer from school to school?
Yes, sir. I had my daughter, 2014, and then I had my son in 2019. So I had to do a little bit of moving around.
Okay. So you transfer to follow family. Though there's a lot of players that transfer to different schools because this day and age, NIL. Was NIL around when you were in college, or is that something that they introduced after you got out of college? You're like, what the heck, man? Like, when was this when I was in it?
They were talking about it, but we weren't fortunate enough to get it in time, so we missed that. It came a little later once I finished up. They said we were the pioneer players. So,
well, has to begin somewhere. But again, there's two. I ask players two different questions about where they get their talents from, who they look up to, where you like imitate or try and simulate who you look up to, receivers, DBs. I asked a player last week, like DB, his favorite player. He named a basketball player. I'm like, that's definitely not the position that you play in right now. But what athlete do you look up to try and imitate your game for?
I would probably say Julio Jones. He's a big body. Let me see, Julio or Metcalf. Big bodies. They run. I just want to be like them. Score touchdowns. Keep up. Catch up. Throw it deep.
Who's a better fancy wide receiver, Julio or Metcalf?
I would say Julio. He's a little bit more
Julio?
experienced. Yes, sir.
I go with Metcalf, but I have him at my team, and he's won me a couple of championships. But in college, I guarantee you played in multiple interesting venues from small to big. What is the most intimidating atmosphere you played in? And what atmosphere do you went to go, man, I wish I went to this school even though you didn't attend that school?
I would say college. We done played in a lot of stadiums all over. Probably West Kentucky. I wish everything played out how it was supposed to.
Mm-hmm.
Definitely. Reason being, Coach Helton, it kind of reminds me of Coach Reg. It's just business. He didn't beat around the bush. He kept it a buck. No lies. He made sure I was going to do what I needed to do as far as school and then coming into the program and whatnot. Same thing here with Coach Reg. So I would say West Kentucky. That was something I was looking forward to playing.
Was Western Kentucky in the Southern Conference?
CUSA.
CUSA, Conference USA. So,
Yes, sir.
so they made their transition up to D1. So you've played in some interesting venues in there. I guarantee you played at Tennessee for a game.
little bit everywhere.
Yeah. Those are some intimidating atmospheres to attend. But that's your college days. You're in the professional days here in Willing. What is the highlight so far of your season, especially in the Willing Miners? The city, the location, restaurants. What's the highlight for you here in Willing?
The highlight, I would say, our arena, the fans, the experience, our coaching staff, really just everybody here. It's a lot different from what it was last year when I was with the Storm. It wasn't as structured and organized. So being in a program that's nice and organized and structured, I mean, you have no choice but to succeed.
Mm-hmm. Well, that's what Coach Rez is about. He is structured, he is organized, and he'll get in the face of people, especially other coaches and refs, to teach them the rules of the game while the game's being played. So that's Coach Rez for you.
Yes, sir.
Where's the go-to destination so far? After practice, go where, find something to eat. What's the go-to destination in Willing?
I would say Tito's. I mean, they sell more than hot dogs. I usually get a barbecue burger. It's pretty decent.
That's back-to-back weeks for Tito's.
That's 3 straight weeks there, my friend.
Yeah.
Oh, it is? Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
3 straight weeks.
Well, we had player skipped, and then we had a player. So I kind of forgot there.
I don't count RC.
Yeah, true.
RC looks at the foods like, I got to go, get some 5-star Michelin place. He'll drive to Pittsburgh to get it. With his connections to freaking Hallmark and stuff like that. A bourgeois type of menu. But Tito's, wow. Not Generations. You're at Generations right now, and you're saying Tito's. Come on.
Generations, right? Tito's what it is, though. I mean, what's his name? Christopher, I believe that's the name of the owner. I mean, he makes it nice and personal every time we go. Asking about the game, asking about the team, the players, coaches. His daughter actually sold me a drawing, which reminded me of my daughter. She sells slime back in Florida.
Well, you confirmed that RC eats at Tito's too, so they all do.
And what's cool too is Tito's has a location inside West Banco, so they have a in the arena location as well.
That's cheating.
Hey, I mean,
hey, Andre, I know you've gone up against some studs in Western Kentucky and in college, but what is your dream matchup if you played on any team in any league? Who's the DB that you want to go one-on-one with? Dream matchup of all time. It could be from a current player or a past player.
Current player, past player. Either Jalen Ramsey, Sean Taylor. Jalen Ramsey. I think I want Jalen.
We approve. We approve. I'm an FSU alum, so Ramsey is a pretty dang good DB.
Yes, he is.
He kind of broke my heart because he left the Jags, but it's the NFL and the business is the business.
he's back in Florida, though. He's back in Florida.
He won me a national title at Florida State, so I'm happy.
That's right.
But yeah, Ramsey's good. There's a lot of other DBs out there. Like I played defensive line / offensive line, and I go, man, what would be my dream matchup? It's like I don't want to go up against anybody. Like my dream matchup is going to get Warren Sapp, and I realized I don't want to get just embarrassed against Warren Sapp or Aaron Donald. Like no, I'm not going to do that. Be nice to be on the same field. Like I was on the same field with Tim Tebow, touched his shoulder pad while he completed a 60-yard bomb. But it's a unique. Ramsey's a good DB. If there was another sport that you wanted to play besides football, what sport would that be?
That's a hard one between basketball and track. I like dunking on people. I like running fast.
Mm-hmm.
Football, I can do both. Run people over, run fast, score touchdowns.
And dunk on people.
Yeah.
What position were you playing basketball? Point?
Nah, I didn't have any handles. I played the 5, so I was getting the rebounds and dunking on people. That was my thing. Blocks, rebounds, dunks, alley-oops. I made it fun for the fans.
Well, keeping it fun with the fans, we know that the NBA playoffs are going on right now. Who you got in the finals and who's winning it all?
Be honest with you, I haven't been keeping up with it. Who's playing?
Oh, wow. Just say Celtics and it'll be fine.
All right, we'll go with Celtics.
Good job. I think they're playing right now. So that's another. Where's the other question I got? Favorite NFL team?
Favorite NFL team? Well, being from Florida, I've got a lot of crap from the guys on the team. I like the 49ers.
It's not bad. They've been around a long time.
Yeah.
They've won championships.
Oh, yeah.
They just go to the Super Bowl now and fail to end the Tay revolution.
Mhm.
I lost $40. Thank you, San Francisco. But again, dang good team. Mr. Irrelevant turned to be a household name, and Brock Purdy. That Christian McCaffrey, CP3 is not CMC.
The real
Sorry,
deal.
CP3 is a point guard for the
Yeah.
Phoenix Suns. Christian McCaffrey is a dog. Brandon Ayuk, fantasy football player on my team. Dog. They're a good team out there. That NFC West, and no joke, with San Francisco out there. It's good. You're a fan of San Fran. See, I can go all day talking about San Fran. Do I like them? Not really, because every time they play my team, we get embarrassed. So
I love Shanahan's system. I mean, I do. I absolutely love Shanahan's system. But I could be a little biased being a Browns fan. He was our offensive coordinator for a long time. So I mean, I'd like to see him get one, to be honest. I'd love to see him and Lynch get a ring. That'd be great.
I wonder how many actual people who live in West Virginia there are actual San Francisco 49er fans, seeing that gold miners, 49ers. I would like to know that. Comment below if you're a San Francisco 49er fan in West Virginia. It's more like Pittsburgh Steeler territory, I know. I don't want to offend the Steeler fans with your little yellow towels, but okay. No, just joking. But Andre, you played in Conference USA. You played in the NAL. You played with Topeka. Were you there with Dylan Van Boxel last year?
Well, I actually played with the Storm, Southwest Kansas Storm.
Oh, Southwood County.
Yes, sir.
Okay. My notes said you played with Topeka. So then again, you know how the arena game is.
Oh, yeah,
People
that's
move
crazy.
around.
You
can't
were
find
set
where
to play in Topeka this year, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, he was set this year to play, and then obviously
never mind
things
then.
happen. Yeah, things happen in Topeka.
Oh, Dylan's now in Tulsa, so we never even played with him. Halfway through the season, 5-0. How are you feeling the first 5 weeks? 6
I'm feeling-
weeks plus
Feeling
camp.
great. Camp, first 6 weeks, I'm feeling amazing. I finally got my legs back. I'm moving how I want to move, hence all the running and whatnot. But I'm feeling pretty good. Looking forward to going 6-0 this weekend.
Sorry, I got corrected. He's in Golden State now. My bad. That tells me how long I know about CP3. Where's Golden State? Where's Golden State now? Again, in retirement. I mean, in the off season. One thing I noticed about this last game with you, Russell just throws the ball up there and treats you like DeAndre Hopkins. Like, he's down there, chuck it. And you were open twice. Unfortunately, the files that Jeff sent me are coming up as corrupt, but you're in a highlight film of burning your opponent twice. It's okay, Jeff. I keep playing it; it just won't come up. So
Dang, we tried.
It's StreamYard. I understand.
We tried to be structured this episode.
but again, it's almost every single week I see you wide open down the field, and Russell just chucks it, and you're down there. Is it just the play call? Just throw it up there. Cobb would be down there.
Not necessarily. Something like that, but I just want my quarterback to know he can trust me, no matter what. Like last game, the first touchdown, I want to say it was a somewhat broken play, but he found me, dumped it off. He knew I would catch it. Touchdown points on the board.
Yeah, that's when Russell moved through the pocket, got off a defender, and you were there in the court in the end zone, wide open. The second touchdown, you just blew past your guy. Looked like you were playing a guy who's in high school level. You just burned right past him. You were wide open. And you had a couple good catches earlier in the year that resulted in scoring plays. So you're there for Russell. And one thing I've noticed about this team, I'm looking at this league that the Miners are in, you guys are head and shoulders better than every team in this league.
Yes, sir.
Even though it's 5-0 early, things do happen, but I don't see anyone in this league beating you guys because of your quarterback. How does it for a receiver knowing that you have a quarterback like Russell that can control the offense and execute the game plan without stumbling over simple play calls, but execute it, get the guys the right ball, and drive down the field each and every week.
It's smooth. It's really smooth, especially being in the huddle with him. He's calm, nice and posed, confident. It's his confidence, I would say, for me. He doesn't let the game get to him. I mean, it doesn't matter what goes on. You just look at him. He's like, we're going to score. All right, let's do it.
Just a competitor.
He was like that up in Columbus with the Destroyers back in the day. He was with a bad team when he was there, but he balled out. Fortunately, now he's with you guys, and the school teacher is dominating. I have to say, the school teacher is dominating. He had a great game this past weekend. I have his numbers here because that did work. 206 yards passing and 11 completions. And when I look at a quarterback that's making that type of smart decisions, not putting the team in a bad situation, and finding the receivers downfield, you're going to win a lot of football games, no matter what level you're in, indoor, outdoor, high school, whatever. But is there anybody that you want to give a shout out to? Family? Do you have a business? Anybody? This is your time to promote. We are running out of time here on the Coaches Show, so promote. This is your time to take over the show, my friend.
Let's do a shout out for moms. I'm pretty sure she's tuning in. My daughter, Aaliyah, Josiah, he's out in Orlando right now with his mom. My brothers, Ariana is over in New York right now. Hopefully she comes to the game this weekend. That's my best friend. Really just a family back home, back in Fort Myers. Hope everybody's doing good. My businesses, hey, I'm here right now, but we're still trucking along. So I'm glad I'm able to do that.
Well, Andre, go spend time with your teammates if they're there, or spend time with whoever's in your building right there. Bug Jeff. Do anything. When we come back after this short break, Coach Rez will break down the final moments, preview next week, and we'll be out of here, folks. We'll be back right after this. This is Through the Wire with Coach Rez. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to the final segment of Through the Wire with Coach Reznauer. Coach, this is your time. Closing out the show. What do the fans need to know so you guys can enjoy your rest of your evening?
Yes, so military first responders night. Uh, buy one, get one. All you got to do is show their ID at the box office window when they get their tickets. All coal miners, whether union or non-union, will get 50% off. All ticket sections, 13 and under for their kids, the same for them. So we're trying to get people to come to the games. Military first responder night's always a big one for me, being a Marine. I look forward to this game every year, everywhere I'm at. So hopefully we work to having some cool stuff happen, coming up, each year we do something different, but got merchandise on sale here. Still said that next person that comes by a t-shirt or something, I'll make sure you get tickets to our next game, June 1st. Coach Rez will take care of them for you. So come out to the games. We need everyone, as many people to come out as possible, spread the word, and have a good time.
And of course, we have the link to Dinner with a Willing Player, and that is in our description if you're watching right now. Sign up, raffle, and go chill with RC. Because knowing him, he'll go to a bourgeois type of restaurant. You'd be treated in style with his Hollywood money that he has. Uh,
And you can order whatever you want. RC is going to pay for it.
Yes, that's surf and turf. All the expensive stuff.
I hope they have a porterhouse.
Yes. RC is going to kill me when he sees me. He's like, what the? And of course, June 1st is the next home game. In this week, we are traveling to the Jersey Bearcats for round number 2 against them. Is that game being streamed, Jeff? Do we know yet?
Yes,
it is.
We've put it out on our social medias. They put it out on theirs as well. So it is going to be streamed. It will be live streamed, which will be good. They do have a company that does it, so that'll be fantastic. The link is in our on our Facebook and our Instagram as well.
All right.
We may or may not have a show next week yet. It's our bye week. I'll be at home, so it just depends on how much I got going on at the house. But May 29th, 11 a.m. at West Banco Arena, we will have a huge press conference that is open to the public. Everyone's invited to come. We'll have some light lunch things, before you have to go back to work. So be a good turnout. It'll be on the field. So it'll be a good time. Got a lot of information to put out then there at the press conference. So that'll be right before our next home game, June 1st.
All right. With that, Jeff, any final words? Any awards coming? Any Emmy awards for your production? Or...
No, just hanging out, getting through this week, and then getting into the bye week and getting some rest. I mean, everybody needs it. Coach Rez needs it. We need it. I mean, it's getting to hang out and looking forward to practice tomorrow and getting ready for this week's game. So, like you said, rematch. It's hard to beat somebody twice, but with the guys we have, I mean, it's definitely I think we're gonna go up and put on a show. There are a lot of fans that are going to Jersey, so we do have a good presence in Jersey, I feel like.
Yeah, we got quite a few players from the Jersey area. So we even got a wide receiver that used to play for them that's with us now. There you go, Pete. Give you a shout out, bud. Give you the jersey, dang fist pump. Let's go.
With that, ladies and gentlemen, I'm Jim Meunier. That's Jeff, and that's Coach Rez. We'll see you probably next week. May not. We'll see you in 2 weeks. But remember, press conference on May 29th at West Banco. With that, ladies and gentlemen, have a blessed and beautiful day, and happy NFL schedule release day. Go watch where your favorite teams go lose this in the upcoming season. Sorry. I'm thinking about my Jaguars. My bad. We'll be back after. We'll see you guys next week.